introduction, organization can never achieve its objective without proper management. There are theories which are categorized as classical, behavioral, and situational management. There were non-classical management theories, which is scientific, administrative, and bureaucratic, were reviewed in this assignment. Classical management theories are very important as they provide the basis for all other theories of management. For scientific management theory, the systematic study of relationships between people, and thus for the purpose of redesigning the work process to increase efficiency. For administrative management, focus on the whole organization in a way to be managed and structured. For bureaucratic theory, this theory developed by Max Weber and its premise in organizational structure.
The genre of classical management theory. In the classical management theory is based on the belief that workers only have physical and economic needs. It does not take into account social needs or job satisfaction, but instead advocates a specialization of labor, centralized leadership, and decision making and profit maximization. The three schools of classical management theory is bureaucratic theory by Max Weber, scientific management theory Friedrich Therion, administration management theory by Harry Fayon. Bureaucratic theory by Max Weber. Bureaucracy is an organization structure that is characterized by many rules, standardized procedures, and requirement. Number of these meticulous division of labor and responsibility, clear hierarchies, and professional, almost impersonal interaction between employees. Scientific management theory by Friedrich Therion. Scientific management is a theory of management that analyzes and synthesizes workflow. Its main objective is improving economic efficiency, especially labor productivity. It was one of the earliest attempts to apply science to engineering of process to management. Administration management theory by Harry Fayon. Administration management theory attempts to find a rational way to design an organization as a whole. The theory generally calls from a formalized administrative structure, a clear division of labor, and delegation of power and authority to administrators relevant to their area of responsibilities.
In classical management theory, there are several contributions made by all three of these theories. One of the fundamental contributions of this classical management approach is the division of labor. This approach allows employers to narrow their areas of expertise and make a specialization in one area. Contribution of bureaucratic theory is authority structure and description of organization based on the nature of authority relations. First is a predictability. It is the rules, training, specialization, structure to provide stability to an organization. Second is a democracy in the rules. Organization decisions according to an acceptable criterion of the rules and regulation and bring about consistent behavior within the organization. Third, Activities are taken up on a priority basis according to a schedule. For scientific theory, they are focused on analyzing jobs and redesigning so that they could be accomplished more efficiently. Second, rationally solve organizational problem. It encourages workers to pursue the one best way philosophy and achieve the task with minimum effort and cost. Third, this theory of course solving organizational problems and pointed the way to the professional application of management. Lastly, for administration theory, they drew a clear distinction between operating and management activities. It includes the 5 major functions of management is planning, coordinating, organizing, controlling, and commanding. Second, this theory focusing on contribution universally applicable principle of management by emphasizing that management skills are universal. Third, Henry Fayol believed that managerial ability could be applied to the home, church, military, school, politics, and industry. Disadvantages of this theory focus primarily on the physical needs of an employee and can overlook the employee's social needs, which is a vital component for some in their overall job satisfaction. For example, in bureaucracy theory, cannot offer the satisfaction of higher level ones of employers, and to that extent it feels miserable to exploit fully the human potential. Next, Taylorism is widely criticised for saying workers use machine more than an individualism. Under Taylorism, employees' work efforts increase intensively, but eventually, employees become dissatisfied and angry, which affected their overall work ethic. Lastly, in administration theory also suffers losses such conflict and excessive categorization. It is institutional centered and cannot provide greater scope for individualism. Therefore, this theory cannot provide a democratic organization.
Moving on to the last question, classical management theory is still relevant to today's work based on my view. This is because it gives clear organization hierarchy, where the structure establishes clear authority for work and departments using hierarchical. It also provides a clear outline of responsibilities and objectives for each member of management and reduces any confusion as to what a particular manager should focus on. Thus, hierarchy provides the most effective kind of organization in today's work. Next is, it increases productivity through monetary rewards. This is because employees strongly motivated by their physical needs and more specifically, monetary incentive. This could increase an employee's feeling of appreciation through recognition of their accomplishment. It also encourages friendly competition between associates while linked to job performance and motivate employees to produce optimally. Hence, this theory will help the organization to gain more profit. Moving on to the last question, classical management theory is still relevant to today's work based on my view. This is because it gives clear organization hierarchy, where the structure establishes clear authority for work and departments using hierarchical. It also provides a clear outline of responsibilities and objectives for each member of management and reduces any confusion as to what a particular manager should focus on. Thus, hierarchy provides the most effective kind of organization in today's work. Next is, it increases productivity through monetary rewards. This is because employees strongly motivated by their physical needs and more specifically, monetary incentive. This could increase an employee's feeling of appreciation through recognition of their accomplishment. It also encourages friendly competition between associates while linked to job performance and motivate employees to produce optimally. Hence, this theory will help the organization to gain more profit. Then, single leader decision making, also relevant to today's work. This is a theory of a single leader, or they select few leaders to make decisions on behalf of a company. This is a process where decisions will be made at the highest level and the decisions will be communicated down the ladder of management. This is because leaders would be wise to choose the appropriate decision-making style for the situation at hand. Thus, Leaders' decisions set the organization on the right path. So, in conclusion, this classical management theory still can be applied in organizations nowadays that would lead to success and help to gain more profit.
Conclusion, classical theories enhance the management abilities to predict and control the behavior of workers. These theories are designed to predict and control behavior in organization also. These theories consider the task or function of communication in the organization and ignore the human relational and maintenance function of communication. These are applied in simpler, small and stable organizations, while these are not applicable in big, complex and aggressive organizations of today. Thank you.